Hey guys, so it's Friday, and like I predicted, nothing went on today. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So I decided to do my reviews like I've been promising forever. First of all, two links in the description. The first one is of Chris Medina. I told you about him a couple days ago. He was the last performer on American Idol on Wednesday night. And so I put that up for you. You can click that to see it. And the other one is of a YouTube interview that President Obama did yesterday. If you didn't get to see his State of the Union address, it's sort of like that. He addresses the same issues pretty much that he talked about in his State of the Union. And it's a lot shorter than his State of the Union address. So if you want to go and watch that, the link is in the description. So to start things off, oh man, I was about to say her name. Egyptian Princess gave me a book called The Sign that I read a few weeks ago. So good, so good. It's about it's about this monk that believes that God is speaking to him, but then it's actually like the government that has this machine. It's hard to explain, but it's called The Sign. I can't remember the author, but it was really good. I know that probably doesn't help you much, but maybe if I find out the author, I'll put it up tomorrow or something. But it was really, 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 really good. So moving on, Crazy Love by Francis Chan, Pastor Francis Chan. This book, I read this, I started reading this a few months ago. And it's one of those books that you have to take your time reading, not because it's boring, but because it's more of, not a self-help book, but it's more of like a self-evaluation kind of book. And so, I mean, you can't read it in a week and then, completely transform your life or anything. But it's really good. I mean, I read it, and I think it also has to do with around the time that I read it, because I read it when I was pretty discouraged, and afraid. I think when it comes down to it, I was afraid of certain things, and I read it, and it totally woke me up. Like, it's just about, and I love how he goes through it, because he goes in sort of a process that even I take when I talk to people, and it's like you start off by saying that God is love, and God is this, God is that. He's the great creator, imagine all these things. And then it takes you deeper. It takes you, and it helps you evaluate where you are in your Christian life. What is it that you're here to do? What is your purpose? It was just really good. So if you're even, sort of curious, I say, go and get it. It's Crazy Love, Pastor Chan. Next on my list, The Bible Code, right here. I didn't really like this. And the only reason that I got it is because he came out with a part 3 recently, and so this is part 1 that I read. So, I figured I'd look into it and see what it's about. And it sort of makes sense, but it's just like, he says that he found a code in the Israeli Bible, in the Jewish Bible, which is in complete Hebrew, and it doesn't have the New Testament. So he took it, he rearranged the letters, he does like a grid thing, and he finds secret messages that predict the future, and it's supposedly based on like real life events. So he predicted the death of the Israeli Prime Minister like in 1996 and something else, and I had a lot of questions reading it. Some of them were answered as I read it, but I mean, like, as I got toward the end of the book, I just became more skeptical, because it's not based on what I know to be true biblical doctrine. So there's a lot of inconsistencies that I don't really believe it. So, I mean, it's still an interesting read, though, because I could see how it could work. Like, I could see him tweaking a few things and making it this completely different, believable thing. Last book review, Fallen. This book is so good. I saved the best one for last. It's so good. It's by Lauren Kate. And this one is part one. It's part one of a trilogy. And I haven't read the second one is out. I just haven't read it yet because it's not in paperback, and I really want to get it in paperback. But Fallen, yes. Oh my gosh. If you liked Twilight, you will love this. If you liked if you like series, you should check this out. It's so good. It's like a Twilight story, but instead of vampires and werewolves, you have like angels and demons and fallen angels, and there's the whole story of, they bring in that whole story of being in the Garden of Eden, and then when Satan fell from heaven and all of this kind of stuff, and it's so good. Like, read it. If I have to pick any book that I've read so far in the last year, read Fallen. So good. Movies. Does my voice sound weird? I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't talked very much today. Yeah, movies. Last night I saw The Next 3 Days. And that's with Russell Crowe. Love him. That's the one where he breaks his wife out of jail, so forth and so on. It's actually really good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Suspenseful. Lots of action, which I didn't really expect. But, it was really good. It's not like, oh my god, you have to see it. It's not like Unstoppable. But it's good. It's good. It's worth seeing. Like, if you wanted to see it and you weren't sure, you should see it. It's good. Let me see. What else have I seen? Oh, I saw True Grit a few weeks ago. And that was good. It was not what I expected. I expected it to be more of like a Western kind of corny kind of, weird movie. But it was actually really good, so if you want to see True Grit, you should see that too. TV shows. So I started watching this show on NBC called The Cape. And those of you that know what I'm talking about, just hold on, okay? It's actually not that corny. It's not a great show. I'm not gonna film it because I was like really into Lost and Prison Break and Heroes and stuff, so, and Ugly Betty and like Grey's Anatomy, and so I know my good shows, okay? But this is definitely not that. But it's not bad. Like, I'm still waiting for them to develop the characters though, because I feel like right now it's like a cartoon. Like when you watch cartoon episodes of Batman and it's like everything's unrelated and it's like one villain shows up in everything and you're like, but this doesn't compute. It's kind of like that right now. There's no character depth. They tried really hard with the main character to give you like the connection to his wife and his kid and stuff, but it was just like, it's just not there. But it's good. It's not bad. Like, I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving it a shot. So far I've watched 4 episodes, something like that. And it's okay. I think I'll watch this season out and see where it stands. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get canceled though. So, sorry to The Cape. But, yeah. It's not that bad. And I know all of you are thinking, she's only watching it because the guy is totally cute, which is part of the reason that I'm watching it. He is totally cute. I admit it, I'm sorry. Off the Map, which is this new show on ABC, about these doctors that, like, live in the jungle, and they're doing jungle medicine, pretty much. Well, it's Western medicine, but in the jungle. It's kind of lame, I'm sad to say, because I really want it to be good. It's like Grey's Anatomy, but set in the jungle. It's an interesting premise, but it's just not that great. It's like the chemistry between the actors and stuff, not there. Non-existent, pretty much. And the cases are really lame, really dumb. I haven't seen like any case that I was like, whoa. I don't know. I just think, and then the thing is too, it always ends on a good, bright, happy note. And I'm like, I don't know. You would think in the jungle a lot more people die because they don't have modern medicine. They don't have certain equipment that you need and things like that. And I get how, they try to make it cool because it's like in one episode this guy used a water coconut instead of an IV, and supposedly that works. And if it really does, then that's cool, but it's just kind of lame. Like, I'm waiting for it, and that's only its third episode too, so I'm still waiting to see if it develops. But it's okay. I'm giving it a shot. I like it. I'm just hoping that it gets more interesting because it's going to lose my interest. I started watching Chuck, which I know it's an old show and whatever, but I watched the first season. I'm gonna start the second season soon. I love it. Love it. So, definitely watch Chuck when you get a chance. So good. So I think that's it for reviews. Yeah, that's it for reviews. Nelson Mandela is out of the hospital. Yays. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that he's doing better. On sort of a related, not so related note, Lebanon and Egypt and, oh man, what's the name of that other country that I can't remember right now? Going through revolutions, which, I wanted to talk about a little bit because I sort of see it related to biblical prophecy, and in a way, I kind of support it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of scary. Because, I'm all for, and this is our country's view on it, that we are for people seeking the democratic process. People that realize their rights and demand them from their government. And in more cases than not, it's usually the youth of the country that sparks the revolution. And I'm all for that. Like, claim your rights, do your thing, that's great. But then you look at it from a Christian perspective, and it's like crazy because all of the leaders that are being replaced were strong allies of the United States, and now they're being replaced with people that have ties to terrorist organizations and things like that. And it's kind of scary because it's like one by one every Arab nation is going to turn against America, and in turning against America they are turning against Israel, and it is prophesied that every nation will have to turn against Israel in order for Christ to return. So it's crazy how I'm reading it in the Times, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people don't see this, but it's like things are happening, people. So it's crazy. It's interesting, and it's I don't know, it's historic and everything, but it's just like, it's crazy at the same time. Scary, interesting, all of it jumbled into one. So I just wanted to make a mention of that because if you have been reading or hearing about what's going on in Egypt and stuff, especially Egypt recently, that it's a big deal. It's a pretty big deal. So, other than that, I don't think I have anything else to report or anything else to review or talk about. So, I guess I will be seeing you tomorrow.